Okay, today is April 11th, 2022, and I know, gross. Look at that softness in my arms I'm still trying to work on. It's so gross. I call out all my flaws so it doesn't matter what people say. I'm not offended whatsoever because I already acknowledge that it's there. People that are in denial of their flaws care. And I'm just like, whatever. Just like the people that share my videos, I don't even look at their responses anymore. I just know they're going to be negative, and I don't need to go down that, mindset for the moment. So, anyway, I was trying to figure out a way that I could show you my baby pictures without revealing like all the information on it and not having to scribble on it. So, look at him. Isn't he a cutie? That's the baby inside of me. I didn't cover up like there. You can see Leticia Collins on there. Oh, isn't it cute? And it took her a minute to tell me that it was like if it were like anything that was like not good. And so but she said everything looked fine at that moment. So here's another one, I guess. Let's see, these ones are out of the feet photos. So they've got the little feet right in here, and I don't know, someone here or something. There was some really good motion. I don't know if they're on the CD or not, where you could really see his little feet pressed up against there, because he is constantly moving. I don't know what it is. Like just now, I was thinking about his dad and stuff, and he was sitting there jumping up and down, like kicking me and shit, and I'm just like, whatever. I don't even know about you. Baby, I just don't even know about you. Standing up for your father like that. They always stick by one another. So I have all these negative thoughts towards his dad, and he just starts kicking the shit out of me. Like, don't feel that way, Mom. Don't feel terrible because he left you for dead. Love me instead. So, and that's pretty, like, cute, I guess. I guess that's kind of cute. So, yeah. I'm trying to be nice and share with people so that they know. Oh, look at how freakish it looks. Looks like a skeleton in this one. That's nice. Nice. That's pretty cool. She got some terrible photos. I don't know what the hell. She said, she was taking over for another technician, and I was just like, what the fuck? You know? It's that whole... Anyway. Oh, look. Here is a really funny one. My baby's gonna hate this later on. I'm sure. Hold on. Hold on. Let's get this going here so I can make fun of him. Here we go. Those are his testicles. It says baby boy, question mark. His testicles. When I saw them, I just choked on a nut right now. That's so funny. I'm so crazy. Anyway, I couldn't help it. I went and got some more shake. I don't care. I have no money. I really don't. I just find bits and pieces of things here and there, and I go around and I find what I like, and that's how it is. Very simplistic. I live my life one moment to the next. I know. My baby's got big balls. It's gonna be like its father. That's funny. That's gross. That's gross. Testicles. Oh God, here's another testicle picture. Anyway, my baby's got big balls, just like his fucking dad. balls to fucking do what he did to me. Piece of shit. Men, I tell you. What's wrong with them? They have no compassion in the slightest. Fucking insane. I go through my phrasing sometimes. Oh, you couldn't see shit. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Apparently his testicles are there too, somewhere. Pointing them out. That's gross. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So yeah. Let me see. And the last one. Oh, here are his little feet again. His cutie little feet. His little tootsies. There's his cutie little feet. His little tootsies. So, anyway. I have those folded up and I keep them in my purse. All the ones that I've collected. I just keep them on me at all times. And, regardless of what I say, it doesn't mean that I'm a bad parent for having opinions about things. It doesn't make me a bad parent for being vulgar with my terminology. And I'm actually a very loving person, which is the sad part, because people have made me look like a monster just due to my words. And that's so sick. That's very sick. Like, if you don't engage with the individual personally, you don't know where they're coming from with their definitions of words, then you need to realize that you're doing something wrong. Like, if you can't engage with someone and understand, yeah, I call this baby rape baby, and he's here because of a rape. I'm not gonna denounce that. And I don't care. Like, his father really didn't give a shit about me. And I actually sat down and yesterday and today and messaged the Airbnb company or whatever, the corporation, to let them know what had happened at that Airbnb that day and everything that was involved with it, and, you know, Jason Wallace and whatever, and in hopes that he won't go around raping other women and leaving them knocked up. For what purpose? What are you, some type of supreme being? You can just have kids wherever and, you know, whatever, and leave me for dead? Well, then what does that make me then? And what does that make you for wanting to fuck trash like me? So, that's weird. That's weird. I don't understand it. Not at all. So, and I also contacted the Bumble dating app, the one we met off of, because I wanted them to understand what had happened between me and him, and that my account is now blocked on there because I was pissed off after I got raped and I started saying a bunch of vulgar shit on my profile, and then they blocked me on there. And I understand I've got a bad attitude when it comes to dating, because I'm not really trying to date. I'm trying to just pass the time until I come across the person that wants to be with me and next to me at all times. And I know you can't be next to someone all the fucking time, because that gets fucking annoying. And I know I'm annoying as fuck, and I don't try to deny that in any way. I know that I can get on people's nerves because I'm always so technical with things and always trying to find the right solution, and, you know, isn't there a better way, or isn't there a this and that, or can't we finance this, or let's do the numbers here, and nobody wants to deal with someone like that. I had some vegan food right now, but I had to go into a district where you have to pay for fucking parking. I thought I had managed. I thought, okay, I found a parking deck right next to the place. I'm gonna run in, run out, no problems within the 30 minutes, and it'll be free parking. You know, no issues. Otherwise, it'll be $2 for an hour. And I thought, I don't want to spend $2. Just try to get in and out with your food. And I got in there. They literally took 1 minute too long. Literally, like 1 minute too long. And it got to that 30-minute mark, and I was like, damn, I cannot run fast enough to get back to the vehicle in time to get it for free. So I had to, for that extra 30 minutes, pay $2. And I was so frustrated. I was just like, immediately my stomach sank. And in that moment, of course, one of those crazy blocked profiles shared my content. So I knew there's just like a vibration and a frequency within all of us, and within the electronics around us, and within everybody that we've engaged with. And so I think the father of this baby probably thinks about me more than he would like to, you know? He obviously doesn't like me. He obviously doesn't care about me. He obviously, ignored me after I told him I felt weird about the whole situation. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Sorry, what? I was asleep with these pants on, and you pulled them off of me. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Or is violating other people physically and sexually part of you detaching mentally, your psychosis? And that's why people like you get away with that kind of shit, because you tell the courts, I wasn't all there mentally. But you violated me in the process? At least when I'm not there mentally, I don't go around hurting others. At least when I snap, I stay away from everybody, and I do crazy things by myself and not toward others. And I don't violate them and rape them in the fucking ass and chop their dicks off and shove them in their fucking mouth, because then I can just say, I snapped. I wasn't there. It was psychosis. I don't know what it is. I had a detachment. That's how it goes. So, I mean, can I get away scot-free for that? Murdering all of you? And then, is that all right? Because in my mind, when I do this research and I realize all these people getting away with nonsense, and then all of a sudden I'm violated, and I continually get violated, and nobody's listening to me because they think that I'm the issue, because I'm the common denominator in all this. Maybe you're fucking right. Maybe I shouldn't fucking exist then. Maybe I'm trying to call people out to fucking murder me and strangle me to fucking death. So, I don't know. And then I have to let out my emotions like this, and I feel like I don't really care who sees. I don't really care what anybody thinks either. So, I feel like it doesn't matter who watches me, or how many views I get, or how many, followers I have, and whatever, subscribers. What is that about? Who wants to subscribe to someone else's crazy life, and they're not actually doing anything to help that person? They're just watching them, burn and crash and whatever. And I'm like, honestly, it's not burning and crashing that badly if I still have a good sense of humor about it, and I'm still pretty optimistic by the end of the fucking day, even after all these goddamn attempts. Who wakes up from 90 bars of Xanax? This bitch. So, anyway. And then I tried 30 bars, thinking maybe it was just too much, and I threw it up all over the place. I was passed the fuck out. I went to sleep on my bed. At the time, though, I was very overweight. Probably 280 pounds, 300 pounds, somewhere in there, really, really heavy set. So I can understand that my body rejected it. And that was sad for me, because I was like, a waste of fucking Xanax. I couldn't even get the money from it or anything from selling them. So instead, and then they kept prescribing them afterward. I even disclosed it to them. And since it wasn't recorded, since I didn't go to the emergency room for it, because I passed out on my couch, or I passed out on my bed and woke up on my fucking couch. In the process, all I can remember was seeing my daughter's, like, she had a desk that was like for painting or whatever, and I like rammed my knee into it when I went down, and I actually still have the huge scar on my knee where I just scraped all of the skin off on the way down. And It broke the desk a little bit, but the desk apparently made it back to my daughter because my mother, when I was selling everything off finally, decided she wanted to buy it so she could give it away to someone. And I was like, yeah, okay. So either she gave it to her or used it for her non-blood related granddaughter, step-granddaughter, or whatever. I don't think you're related anymore, bitch. You let that little girl get molested by your son. I'm pretty sure you're not family at that point. I wouldn't want to consider you family. So, and that's why my mother has fought so hard to keep me looking bad like that. My entire family has fought so hard, and my ex-husband and everything, to make me look bad. And I'm like, you can't make me look bad. I don't do shit. And the fact that you people act all crazy because of my words, that's hilarious, because it always comes back tenfold. Promise you that. You have physically violated me. You have literally stolen from me. And I'm just sitting here waiting. Like, karma's a bitch, man. I'm just trying to do right by the world and even the people that I interact with. Leaving tips for people. I even left the bitch $3. She didn't expect any tips. There wasn't a tip jar. When I went to go get that food earlier, I don't mean to call her a bitch, but you know what I mean. I said, God damn it, you bitch. You made me have to spend $2 more after I just gave you a $3 tip. It's so funny. And I knew that I had snapped in my mind. And when I had thought that, immediately that share came through on my YouTube of that asshole. Because I'm just thinking like, damn, I'm being a bitch for thinking that. Don't think bad about these people. It's not their fault that it took them a minute or two longer. And, I just wanted a free parking. And so it's like, get over yourself, Leticia, and I get that. And I have to go through the moment, but like literally when that happens, like everything seethes inside of me and I just want to destroy. And, and it's only $2. Like, what? People think I'm so crazy, but it's like my compiled traumas and aggravations and frustrations that lead me to acting out or doing or saying things that might not be quite appropriate for the moment. So anyway, but yeah, I went and got a vegan cookie. A cookie. Where are you? Where did you go? Look at this nasty grossness on my arm. It's like bingo wing. I tell everyone, bingo. It's a, they say bat wings. And I'm like, no, don't you understand? It's a bingo wing, because when you go flailing your arm, bingo. And that's why I enjoy that I'm not perfect anymore, because fuck it. People are not perfect. And like, if you're just looking for aesthetic perfection, that means you're very shallow. And that means that you have nothing going on in your personality and like no compassion within you. I got a vegan cookie. And then I'm gonna go get the rest of that wick. I ended up, what they did was, for a vegan wick package, all they didn't substitute anything to give me the proper amount of food that I need. What they did was remove everything that I didn't want, which was like the eggs, any of the weird meat protein, any of that stuff, And let me see, I think I've got the list right here. Cheese, eggs, all that milk. So, yeah, I'm just going to donate all that cheese and the eggs to anybody I come across, like there's a whole lot of homeless people that are struggling, and a lot of them have mental issues, and they do something and they can't repent in some way, so it gets to their head and they can't handle it, and that's just how it goes. They go downhill over and over again because they don't have self-forgiveness. And that's why, like, I choose to heed the words of the Bible and God and, the differences and different sinfulnesses, because it all is very poetic. It's all very, very pertinent to this day and age Most people think that it's irrelevant context, but they're reading the statements, not seeing it symbolically or metaphorically, and they're not reading between the lines to understand the true story and concept behind these written documents. And so I had to realize, even when it says on there of like forgiving others and forgiving oneself, and how we are all connected within God, and I had to rationalize too, when they say the word he for God, it's not necessarily a man. It's an it. It's an everything, because there is a balance within nature and chemistry and the electrons that we're made out of. So electrons, neutrons, protons, everything that makes the world and the universe around us. So that's what I tell everyone. That's my version of God, is a bit of everything. And even like the crazy insanity that happens, we have to have that to balance out the good. Otherwise we would end up diving further into chaos, which it's already gotten out of hand, where people are taking from others, and it's happened for many generations, where enslaving others and putting others down. I'm not sure what you would think you would gain from that. I've never been that type to want to hurt others by taking from them. I've always been the type that wants to offer back and make them smile and make them want to do better, and within themselves, because that's what helps the world around us, is showing others compassion and showing others how to self-soothe, and also to get back up on their feet and to manage through all of these different circumstances, bouts of mental issues that people deny. I don't have any problems. I don't need a therapist. Everyone needs a therapist. Everyone needs someone to talk to, and that's why I tell the people, like, just go to God for it. Speak aloud. People have told me, speak to him when you're in your private moments in your car and everything, and that's why I just decided, okay, then I'm just going to clarify it for the rest of the world so they know who they're dealing with. And if you ever come across me or whatever, you can't say anything that is going to slander me or to take away from what I have accomplished in life, and to try to defile my purpose in life, which is not really, I'm not really sure. It's kind of one of those things where I'm not really sure how or why or what I'm doing. And I just know that I've been very loving along the way, and that's all I care about. I care about, not necessarily making connections that last forever, but making connections that are helpful toward others, helpful for them to heal. And it's sort of like me offering my life force to help others in certain ways, to recognize if they've done something terrible and should have to make amends, or if they've done something really beneficial and how they should feel inspired by themselves and inspired, motivated within themselves to do better every day, like I've tried and have succeeded in doing in some forms or another. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Of course, no one is perfect. Jesus wasn't perfect, and they say he was perfect and blah, 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 and it's like, no, Jesus had his flaws. He was human, like when he went and took the whip in the temple and whipped out all of the, merchants, and I feel like he had to disclose that to people, because anger is normal. It's a normal emotion to feel, and we shouldn't dwell in that emotion for very long, but we should help others by recognizing what they've done wrong and how they make us feel, and how, our aggravation is a part of an overall positive change, you know, recognizing where the anger stems from and, you know, trying to work through it in healthful ways. And I know I shouldn't be eating so much sugar. I need to go and take a nap now. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, aside from, you know, what is it? Just greedy. Just, what is it? Your eyes were bigger than your stomach type thing. I was so greedy right now. I already ate a bunch. I didn't really need that shake, but I was very upset. Now that I've gotten the shake, I'm sort of remorseful, thinking like, Leticia, like, why do you do this to yourself every day? Why do you put yourself out in certain ways just to make yourself happy in others? And I can't really tell you why. It just happens, and I just go about my business, and I just want to stay in that positive state. And I don't know. Anyway, I am gonna get off of here because I feel like I'm just tired. I want to go take a nap. Everybody have a good day, and I love you. And maybe do something beneficial for yourself today. Something that is going to help you relax as well as progress. And life is not about money. Life is about compassion and giving back to the world around us. And that's where you find true happiness. Philanthropists can tell you that they would prefer to do that as opposed to stealing, because they understand what it's like to suffer. Majority of people. And I feel like being forced away from relationships and everything, and being forced to be by myself, I've endured quite a bit of pain, you know. I really don't want to have any loss of limbs. I really don't want to have to live through any of that, because then how would I dance, and how would I feel encouraged, and how would I encourage others when they would just see somebody that has had nothing but terrible things happen to them throughout their entire existence. People would know I was cursed at that point. And I'm not actually necessarily cursed. I just feel like there's a lot of people that hated me for no reason, and it was them that they were cursed and had to realize what they were doing to someone that really didn't do much of anything wrong. Like, how much have I done wrong? I gave back the shit that I stole. You know, I did this and that to compensate for the things I've done wrong. I try not to impede on other people's spaces or their mindset so that they don't feel confused and angered by the world around them. But then I just can't help disclose some of the truths around me, because I feel like it's completely irrational what's going on in the world sometimes. Anyway, how can men do that? How can men have sex with someone and then just disappear like that? What is wrong with them mentally? What is wrong with them? And then to know that there's a baby? Who does that? Demons do that. Nobody that I want to associate with, you know? How terrible of a human being. And then now I'm having his son. And how is his son going to feel when I end up feeling all of these emotions and hatred toward his father, especially while he's in the womb, and especially while he's, growing inside of me, and all of my emotions and all of my frustrations? Of course the baby's going to be affected because of all the cortisol that I'm releasing, all the chemicals that I'm releasing, and during the certain thoughts. And it's going to get the same thing. A baby learns in the womb. And I try to relay some of the documentaries that I watch on my Facebook and everything. But how do you expect that your child is better off just without you like that? Because you're a terrible person and you can't manage, but you're a big boy, so you just go around and fuck everybody. It doesn't matter to you what you're doing, what you're creating in life, and the toxic behaviors that you're leaving behind for other people to have to cleanse, because you're too irrational to believe that you did anything wrong. And Just because you're defended by the systems because of the nepotism doesn't mean shit. And the same thing with my family. The same thing with my ex-husband's family. That doesn't mean shit. In the long run, you're all fucked. And I've said that many times. And I'm like, I don't mean to say it like that. It's not like it's, you know, just because it's toward me. Everybody that does it to other people, fucked. Cursed. Fucked. So, and people laugh at me and think that I'm doing terribly. I'm like, no, I'm just chilling with a shake right now. Chocolate. Yum, yum. I'm good. I'm not on fire. I'm not doing this and that. I'm not shot. I'm not this and that. I think I'm doing pretty good at this very moment. And I thank God for that. That's all I can do. It's just thank God. Some people are crazy, but thank God I'm not that crazy. I'm telling you, I've seen some crazy. And people want to call me crazy. Okay. Alright. And they get so pissed off that I'm smarter and condescending toward them, and they're just like, oh, I fucking hate you. I'm going to destroy your life by slandering your name and all this and defamation of character. That's what it was my whole life. Defamation of character. And I'm like, do you even know what my character is? If you do, please tell me, because I don't know. I'm just Leticia. I'm just going about my day. Like, defamation of character. Cartoon characters? I don't get it. Like, and then they talk to me and they're like, you're so smart, but you're also a child. I don't know. Must be that first suicide attempt. Like, it really snaps me back in and out of reality. Anyway, everyone have a blessed day. And, baby testicles. Gross. That means that they're, like, tiny. Like, apparently the baby is probably, like, what? Like, this big now? Holy shit. That's fucking big. Like, that's weirdly big. Like, is it already a pound yet? I can't remember. Jesus Christ. There's something growing inside of me. And he was kicking me all kinds of crazy a little bit earlier. And I don't know what it was. I guess he was just being active. But when he stretched his little legs out in the ultrasound, and he was just like stretching his little legs, oh my God, it was so cute. And he looked like a little skeleton. It was so cute. And then when he was like, he kept putting his feet up like in like a crunching position and everything, and shoving them forward. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that, guy. Like, I was calling it buddy for many weeks, and we all knew that. And I knew that it was a boy. I knew. I did. But yeah. Anyway, I'm sleepy. I'm gonna go park somewhere where I can take a nap. I'm sleepy. And then I gotta go in and use a restroom too somewhere. I'm sleepy. That means I gotta spend some time to go and actually drive somewhere just so I can sit outside of somewhere to use the restroom in and out. That's my life. In and out of different facilities. At least it's better than being locked in the psych wards for things I didn't do, for talking about things that actually happened. People hate that. If those orderlies don't get reprimanded for this shit, I swear to Christ. Sexually violating somebody that's mentally ill, that's married, that's even worse. Like, I have no hope for the world around me, because all of that was really fucked up. And this happened, you know what, 7 years ago or so not even that long ago. The same thing with the officer. Who's letting these people into these professions and not watching and monitoring them, or giving them psychological evaluations, or, you know, monitoring what's going on in their phones and in their day-to-day life? We have all these psychopaths everywhere just running the shit with keys to this and that. You have no idea how many times I've been in psych wards and completely afraid of some of the staff because they've seen crazy and they treat everyone the same. And until they find someone like me and they're like, what are you in here for? Suicide attempts, the usual. And they're just like, well, why? And then they start getting down to it. They're just like, oh my God, you actually are competent and the system's fucking with you. And I'm like, yeah, it happens. That's why I tell my story here and there, because, I've heard of other people that have gotten a lot worse from the system, but they seem to like me fairly well because I'm a sweetie. So, and I just know that that's my saving grace, is that I know plenty of people that would vouch for me and my personal demeanor and how soft-hearted I am and warm-hearted and compassionate and caring. And then they say, well, it's just a facade. If it's a facade, then why do I do it every day? If it's a facade, why have I been doing it since I was a child? Giving back because I heard the words of God first, and God says to give back to those less fortunate than you. And I feel like there are so many people that are even rich that are less fortunate than me because they don't know what love is, or God's love. They don't see that. They see finances and they see money and they see numbers and they see this and that. And I see it too. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't go for that. That's why a lot of people, even with money, look at me and they're confused. Like, how can you still have a smile on your face? You don't have perfect features. You don't have all the money in the world. You don't have all this and that. You don't even have a home. And I'm just like, yeah. And sometimes that's the best thing. And that's what I recommend to people, because like, if you haven't lived it, if you haven't realized what it's like to struggle every day and to have to ask others for help, then you're not living. You gotta see all ends of the spectrum all at once. And I'm grateful that this happened during this portion of my life, because hopefully later on, if I ever make something of myself, I'll be able to give back exactly where I believe it deserves to be. The finances and helping others and helping them to stabilize themselves mentally, physically, financially, because everybody needs an opportunity in this day and age. And we're destroying and depleting everything around us. Why not give back? And I don't know, but that's just my opinion. And I'm just some random hobo. And I tell people, I'm just a random homeless girl. I don't have anywhere to go or sleep. And now I'm pregnant and I just don't know. And no, he's not in the picture, and yada yada. And no, I'm not looking for any sexual comfort, but, I don't know, maybe some cuddling that leads to sex anyway. Because, no, I'm just playing. I'm not trying to have sex with anybody. It's actually the last thing on my mind. The only person I feel like having sex with is the father of the baby, which is weird to me, because why is my mind going back and forth like that? I'm very confused. Why do I love him? Why? Why do I love him? From that just one moment. That one moment when that all happened and I knew it happened. So weird. But then I hate him too, because of course you can't love somebody that is not there for you. You can't love somebody that hates you and destroys your life. You can't love somebody that is, that gaslighted you and ignored you and left you for dead. You can't love people like that. There's no fixing them. There's no light left in them. And there's no reason to seek out change within them, because they've gone to the dark side and there's no switching them back. And that's the unfortunate part, because I don't know why you'd want to mess with somebody that's got so much light inside of them, and to try to balance yourself out. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Instead, you've tainted me with your darkness in that way, like you're poison. And that's sad. And people used to say that I was the toxic one and that I did all these things wrong. And you know, those people that called me toxic and called me this and that were actually the toxic ones. Were actually the ones that, you know, were manipulative monsters and abusers and predators and pedophiles. And yet I'm the one that keeps getting in trouble for opening my mouth. And that's not fair, because that's freedom of speech. So, and yeah, so that's why I publicize this stuff, because I'm like, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the one straight out of the horse's mouth. Nah, nah. Anyway, everyone have a blessed day. It's April 11th, 2022. Leticia Collins Servin. Bye-bye.